What's your favorite thing about New York?
The diversity.
Likewise.
Just the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do. The culture is to not have a culture.
The walkability.
The subway.
The fashion.
It's still the capital city of the world. It's still.
My favorite thing about New York is just how dense it is. There's literally life everywhere, which can probably be overwhelming for a lot of people, but I like that a lot.
There's a lot of diversity here, a lot of diversity. People in general.
There's just so many different people and you can't really get that anywhere else.
Growing up in Brooklyn, I just always loved like the community aspect of it.
The sense of community, like in parks and places like this, where everybody is just like feels comfortable going up to other people.
I'm surprised that I don't know where it is.
Diversity comes from people all around the world sharing their culture.
That's pretty indicative with the enclaves we have across the city. Queens, Brooklyn, even parts of the Bronx. There's enclaves everywhere.
Yeah, New York is very unique in the sense that when you go to a different borough, there's something unique about it.
I mean, I moved to New York from Lebanon, so I, in that way, am an immigrant. But I don't know, it's not something that I think of.
Every time I personally think about immigration, I think about just how much New York City is changing. And I also think about like the culture of New York, which is just like so many people creating communities. People who are already coming from privilege feel the need to like kick people who are coming here for safety out or just make them feel unsafe. And it's just like a major observation that I think of. The real core of New York is like 1 million people coming from different walks of life. And that's like the beauty of it.
100%. I think by the government, it's so like when you immigrate now versus when you like my parents' experience immigrating here, the support that you get is so different.
New Yorkers can tend to be very like territorial over things, which is valid. I'm territorial as hell. Like when it comes to here, but I think it just comes from a place of empathy and understanding.
Immigration brings a lot of opportunities for people that are looking to start a better life. I mean, my parents are immigrants and they built something out of nothing. And I think that's what a lot of immigrants strive to do anyway.
I think the news is twisting immigration into a really negative thing because of really poor immigration policies. The communities are not being supported to like hold these new people that are coming in. That's number one. And then number two, the new people that are coming in aren't being supported, period. They look at you differently and they judge you. And instead of trying to uplift and support you, they're kind of like, oh, why are you here?
They are treated differently because they have a different status. So I guess that's normal. That happens always.
I don't know if it like affects me every day actually. I don't think about it that often. So I think it definitely is a major drive to the city. It's definitely something that shapes society here.
It should be legal, but like they should probably improve upon it.
The main thing that comes to mind is funding. I think the money is being pushed into really weird channels in the city. And even if they are pushed into the correct channels, they aren't being utilized properly because there's no actual like systematic support. At the end of the day, these are people that we're talking about. You know, it's not just like a number, a couple cents out of your paycheck. And solutions are not going to happen overnight.
The problem is there is not enough jobs for everyone. So we should be focusing on jobs and economic growth more than all the other issues. Immigration in New York has been an issue for 2 centuries now, and it's still the very same. So there is immigration in New York, and it always has been. The question is what kinds, what they're coming from, what do we do with them, but they're coming as always. The very fact that this is an issue still in the States, that's a problem.
I think just expanding the scope of like legal immigration should be enough for like most things in the US. The government doesn't process it fast enough. The quotas aren't big enough. But the thing is that labor is going to be filled like somehow.
People are already coming from all around the world. Legalizing it like more, I think it's a good thing. That way you could reach, in my opinion, more equality because you'll have more diversity and you'll be able to really get the best from everywhere. Definitely. It's kind of like we're all in this together, you know? Living in New York is not easy. Definitely brings people together.